Hey yo, what's up? We are here with my boy, the legendary, the amazing, the hard-working Nick Speed, super producer, everything that you can think of musically, that's him right here, man. City of Detroit, worldwide, he's been doing his thing. So glad to know him, and I'm happy that you took the time to talk to us and chop it up with us today. So I'm just gonna ask you some questions and we're gonna kick it.
Okay.
Cool.
Sounds good.
All right. So what I like to start off with is I like to ask where it all began, because I know I was reading somewhere you was like 4 years old, right?
Yeah.
You were like on TV, and then you got.
Yeah, actually, I was basically like a child prodigy of radio, and like my father actually worked for BET for the video show, Video Soul with Donnie Simpson. So, at the time, I was actually born in Los Angeles. We moved to Washington, D.C. for the sake of my father's job at BET. And then with my mother being from Detroit, I ended up in Detroit. And I started probably going to first grade here, but by that time, I had already done radio, met the president, been on TV, everything. So I kind of had a certain type of knowledge of, how I saw myself in like the industry and what I thought was possible and what I thought wasn't possible. So, I just took what I saw at such an early age and just continued on with it. I just kept the interest in it. So that's where it starts for me. And then, my family always loved great music.
Somebody that's on here doing your thing and doing stuff for big people. But it's crazy because I recall when I was 4 years old, I barely remember anything. So what type of things stuck out to you that you look back on now and you're like, wow, that was really happening. I get it now.
It's funny. Okay, I remember kindergarten. Let me see. I remember kind of like the class. I remember seeing like the teacher was saying something like Nicholas was on TV or something, and it was like and then the culture shock when I come to Detroit, and they might be like Nicholas is on TV, you're like so it just like totally changed into like there was no excitement in the D, like we don't care, man. You know what I'm saying? So that was what I learned really early on, was that they didn't care.
It was
no matter how, it's a cold world out here. So that's basically what I learned early on, and then I was just like, you know what? Okay, I gotta. But I'm very glad that I learned that within my single digits of age,
So like the people that you were hanging out with when you were a kid and stuff like that, are those some of the first people that you did work for or worked with?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, let me see. There's a guy named T-Cal Niece. And he actually went by Elite of Octane and Elite. It's funny how these guys, like, the people, I'm talking about two people, but it's about to sound like four because they changed their name. Both of them changed their name. So, Octane and Elite became Rose Spit and T-Cal Meats or whatever. So anyway,
okay.
The guy who did the first album with Rose Spit, T-Cal Meats, I grew up with him. And he was always like an incredible rhymer, and probably the first beat I ever made, he was in the room. You know what I mean? First rap I probably wrote.
Yeah.
Just because we went to school together, so we just knew each other from that. So majestic legend, incredible talent, who has many achievements. He actually, us three, originally is probably like first people who I ever worked with, and then from there, I ended up meeting Elzhi at St. Andrews. Like, it's like, there was a point in time.
How did you guys meet? How did that happen?
I'll just say, like, see, when you're just like young and doing it, and you just like not even of age to even go anywhere, you just got your own thing going on. So we just had our own little cipher and all of that every day. We wasn't at the shop and all of that, really. I mean, we might have went by there and we knew about it, but we just had to have our own thing. So it was just like like-minded individuals that came together. And it's just so funny because when I think about it, we really started with absolutely nothing. Absolutely not anything at all. Like, so it started from a notebook and writing a rap and beating on a desk. And then mama gave him a drum machine. And then we went over there and tried to make our hand that beats everybody. Like, it might have been 12 of us and everybody tried their hand. And I probably was actually the worst one out of all of them. But then, becoming the laughing stock, I was like, man, give me this motherfucker, so I just like took it home with me for a night or two, kind of figured it out. It was like, ha, what about that? So then, I was like, Oh man, this first song I ever wrote with Elzhi, so I was just sitting there concentrating, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, man, this dude cold. And then I look over and I was just like, man, where's your paper at? And then he was just like beating on his chest, like, and he just spit something incredible. I was like, what? How did you do that? Like, so that was way before it was common knowledge that Jay-Z and Biggie did this. So that was just like amazing to me to see anybody. Actually, and then I took a Greyhound to New York and was trying to meet Kanye's people. Ended up not meeting them, but my father used to live in New York, and he plugged me with some guy named Rashidi Hendrix, who ended up working for MTV and stuff, and he handed my music to 50 Cent and his people, and he told me that they loved the music, and I was like, all right, cool, because I didn't get a phone call or anything, but it was just like, yeah, they love the music, all right, bet. So it gave me confidence to sell my music in the streets of Detroit. Yeah, so I'm selling beats for like 100 or something. Whatever, I'm like, oh, okay, they like my beats, I'm about to sell these boys. Like, I wasn't thinking that. Me and Elzhi ended up releasing a CD called Witness My Growth. We had some distribution through some people in New York, and I mentioned to them that you don't like my music, and he was like, well, I know them, I'm gonna call them on the three-way. He calls them and was like, yo, I got this guy Nick Speed. They butt in like, oh, from Detroit? And he's like, yeah, just give him my personal number, have him send me some more music or something. I'm like, on the three-way, like, wow, like, you know,
right, like,
because 50's like the top performer in the whole music game at this point. How do you even know me? Like,
right.
Okay, I guess he did give him the CD. Cause it's not too often I even call New York. Right? I don't know nobody up there at this particular time. So I send the music. Yeah. So after I sent the first CD, he picked something off the first CD. So
wow.
It was just like a miracle like that. It was like, oh, all right. Then Danny Brown too. I worked with him really early on. Like after hearing them on the radio, I just seen a poster of Reservoir Dogs, which is the group that Danny Brown and Duckhead and Chips was. You know, at that time, they had a song on the radio that was just slapping. And I seen the poster when I was walking down the street one time, like on 7 Mile or somewhere in the hood somewhere. And I just ripped the phone number off and was like, yo, I want to play y'all some beats. They was like, yeah, come through. I was like, bet. So then I just started playing them beats, and then he was like, yeah, that shit cold. They had a little studio in their basement. Brown Brother is like working the Pro Tools. So it was a do-it-yourself situation, so we always just learning that.
Man,
the same time,
I like to say that's that organic come together. That's that connect right there.
Because I didn't smoke or nothing, you know, so they was like happened to be smoking, so they was like, all right, we got to go outside and smoke. And then by the time they came back in, I had the beat done, so it was like, oh, all right, bet. And then it was just like, all right, turn it on. So it was like, you know, the song was just done like that. It was just kind of crazy. So that was a cool. That was probably the first time I recorded with Ron.
And it seems like, you know, you've already been blessed with the background. You had your dad who was in the business and he was able to assist, but you worked, you know, in your own shoes and you filled your own shoes. Definitely. And you found the inspiration out here and you did your thing. And so you were able to take advantage of the blessing. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people have all of these ways and outlets to be able to get their stuff heard or go to the next level, but then they're not prepared. Or they don't have the confidence to keep going, or they fall off. But it seems like you have been able to work within your own vein, create a brand for yourself, and be able to take advantage of the outlets and things that you were blessed with, even since you're a young kid. So I mean, I salute you. I'm sure my little salute compared to everybody else below. Yo, that's what's up. That's real stuff for real.
It's an incredible blessing.
What we generally do with these interviews is at the end we do this little. It's like a game, but it's kind of not. I say a word or something, and then you say the first thing that comes to your mind. You down with that?
Okay.
Okay, so we're gonna start off with Tree.
Tree. There's a guy named Tree that owns a TV bar. He's pretty cool.
Okay, that's what's up. Computer.
Computer. That's what I use to make my money.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Fresh.
Fresh. I like fruit fresh every time.
That's cool. That's cool. Soup MC.
Soup MC. That's my dog.
Okay. Okay. 5E Gallery.
5E Gallery, that's where the home is, you know what I'm saying? That's where the heart is.
All right, hip hop.
Hip hop, that's my life. I don't know, everybody like.
Worldwide.
Worldwide, that's where we want to go with it.
Valid.
Valid 313, that's my dog. He always got something to say. Valley313.com. You better check them out. That's all I can say about Valley.
All right, and one last one. Let's see. Legacy.
Legacy. That was the homie, man. That was, you know, rest in peace to my girl Legacy. But it's a double meaning too. You know what I'm saying? That was just the first thing that came to mind. Was rest in peace to my girl Legacy. But you know, Legacy, leave behind a legacy. You know, and be great forever. That's